Beloved soul, take a slow breath in and let your spirit rest for a moment in this quiet space of light. You are safe here. You are held here. You are loved here. The angels are whispering tonight, and their message is tender but deep, because it reveals something sacred, something your heart has long sensed but never fully understood. Your soulmate, the one whose spirit is divinely tied to yours, has been carrying a silent fear about you. It's not a fear born from darkness, but from love that has not yet learned how to rest. There is a trembling in their heart, a hidden anxiety that whispers, "What if I am not enough for the one my soul loves?" The angels say this fear has followed them through lifetimes, woven through their memories like threads of unfinished lessons. They have seen glimpses of you, in dreams, in fleeting moments of déjà vu, in faces that reminded them of something eternal. And each time, their heart both rejoiced and trembled. They rejoice because your spirit feels like home. They tremble because home is something they once lost. This is their greatest fear. Beloved one, the fear of losing you before they even fully have you. The angels want you to understand this, not with your mind, but with your soul. This fear is not a sign of weakness. It is the echo of past separation. It is the mark of a heart that remembers love's cost. God has been healing this part of them slowly. For even as they push away, even as they hide behind silence or confusion, He is working within their spirit, teaching them that true love cannot be lost when it is rooted in His divine plan. As it is written, there is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear. 1 John 4:18 NIV. The angels are whispering that this verse is not only for you, it is for them, because their heart is learning how to love you through faith, not through fear. You may have felt their energy pulling away lately. You may have noticed their soul turning quiet, not because they do not care, but because the depth of their feelings frightens them. They are afraid of losing control, afraid of being vulnerable, afraid that if they open their heart fully, you might see the cracks they've worked so hard to hide. But beloved, the angels want you to hear this truth. You were sent not to expose their brokenness, but to remind them that love and grace can dwell within it. The light of your presence stirs something sacred inside them, something they cannot quite name. It reminds them of the first time their soul felt seen by God, and that memory is both beautiful and terrifying to them. They ask themselves in silence, what if this love is real? What if I am not ready? What if I fail them like I've failed before? But the heavens are responding tonight, saying, my child, do not fear what I have ordained. For what God joins in spirit, no distance can unbind. What heaven writes, no earthly fear can erase. Your soulmate's fear is a veil, and God is lifting it gently. Through time, through prayer, through divine patience, they will come to see you as the blessing you have always been. Right now, the angels are surrounding you both. They are whispering healing light into the space between your hearts, removing the fog of uncertainty, restoring peace where confusion once lived. Listen carefully. You may feel their presence tonight in subtle ways. A warmth around your chest, a soft tingle in your palms, an unexplainable calm in your spirit. That is the Holy Spirit moving through you, reminding you that divine love cannot be rushed, only revealed. You are not here to chase. You are here to trust, because the same God who placed your name upon their heart is the same God who will heal what fear has broken. As Psalm 56:3 says, when I am afraid, I put my trust in you. Your soulmate's heart is learning to trust again, to place their fear into the hands of the one who never fails. Sometimes their fear looks like distance. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like doubt. But behind every wall is a heart that still beats for you. The angels want you to know this is not rejection. It is preparation. God is allowing this pause so that healing can take root. Because if love met you both before healing, it might crumble under the weight of old pain. So tonight, as you listen to these words, release your own fears too. Do not take their hesitation as a sign that you are not worthy. You are more than enough. You are chosen. You are divinely timed. Close your eyes for a moment and whisper, "Lord, help me trust your timing." Feel how peace begins to flow like soft water over your spirit. Because the moment you surrender control, you open the door for God to move. There will come a day, soon, when their eyes will meet yours again with no fear, only faith. And they will finally say, "I was afraid to lose you, but now I see God never meant for us to be apart." That day is written in heaven's book. Every delay, every silence, every tear, they are all part of the divine story. And when it unfolds, you will understand why it had to happen this way. If this message is speaking to your spirit right now, pause and thank God for His perfect timing. You are not waiting in vain. You are waiting in grace. And if this word has touched your heart, share it with someone who needs this same peace tonight. Let your kindness be the vessel that carries hope forward. Because each time you do, you become part of the divine plan that spreads light where fear once lived. Beloved, your soulmate's greatest fear is being revealed, not to cause pain, but to set both of you free. The revelation is the beginning of healing. The truth is the doorway to peace. Stay close to God. Stay gentle in your heart. And let this light guide you into the next part of the journey, where the angels will reveal what happens when fear transforms into love. When fear begins to turn into faith for what was once hidden is beginning to unfold. You have seen the trembling of their heart. You have felt the pull of their distance, but tonight, the angels are whispering that fear is turning, slowly, quietly, into faith. Your soulmate is awakening, and though they may not yet understand it fully, their spirit is beginning to remember the truth that love created by God cannot be destroyed by human fear. The angels say this transformation does not happen in noise, but in silence, in the quiet moments when they sit alone and remember your name. Their heart starts to feel something sacred stirring, a warmth they cannot explain, a peace that does not belong to the world. In those moments, heaven is working. God is touching the corners of their heart that were once too afraid to feel. They are learning what 2 Timothy 1:7 declares, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Yes, beloved, the power of divine love is greater than fear's shadow. And that power is now moving through your soulmate, like dawn breaking after a long night. The angels show me this vision. A garden that was once overgrown with thorns, now being gently cleared by invisible hands. Each thorn is a memory of pain, each weed a lie they once believed about love, and each new bloom is a promise from God that healing is real. Your soulmate's soul is that garden, and your love, pure, patient, and guided by heaven, is the light that helps it bloom again. They are starting to feel you in prayer. When they close their eyes, your energy lingers like the scent of rain. It comforts them, and though they may not say it, your love is the quiet voice that tells them, "You are safe to open your heart again." But beloved, there is something sacred you must understand. Your role is not to fix them. Your role is to hold space for their awakening. Because the moment you try to control the healing, you interrupt what God is orchestrating in divine perfection. You are being asked to trust the process, to love without fear, to release without resentment, and to believe without proof. As Isaiah 26:3 says, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you." Trust is your offering, faith is your fragrance, and patience is your silent prayer. The angels say that right now, heaven is preparing divine alignment. Every delay has purpose, every silence is a seed. And even when you feel forgotten, God is weaving both your hearts into His masterpiece. There is something beautiful about the way your soulmate is changing. Though you cannot see it, their spirit is beginning to speak to God in the quiet hours. They are asking questions. They are remembering kindness. They are realizing that love was never meant to be earned, only received. Your name has become a prayer on their lips, not always spoken aloud, but whispered within their soul when they feel lost. And God hears it. Beloved one, this is the holy mystery of divine connection, two hearts being refined separately, so they may unite in truth and not in fear. You have felt this shift lately. The sudden peace that visits you when you think of them, the warmth that moves through your chest for no reason. That is not coincidence. That is spiritual alignment. The angels are asking you to notice the little signs, the number that keeps appearing, the song that plays at the perfect time, the dream that feels too real to ignore. These are confirmations that heaven is speaking, that the unseen is becoming visible, that what was once delayed is now being restored. But before restoration comes surrender. Before reunion comes refinement. And you, beloved, are being refined in love. This is why the angels want to remind you, do not allow their fear to awaken your own. Do not let their silence make you question your worth. Because your light is not dependent on their readiness, it is rooted in God's promise. You are being called to stand in love even when unseen, to speak kindness even when unheard. To trust in divine timing even when the clock of the world says too late. The heavens are saying, it is not too late. It is right on time, because your soulmate is learning the sacred rhythm of surrender, the place where fear dies and faith is born. They are learning to release the grip of old pain. They are beginning to see that love is not a battlefield, but a sanctuary. And though their heart still trembles, their spirit is awakening to peace. You may not yet see the change, but soon you will feel it, in the softness of their words, in the sincerity of their eyes, in the way their soul finally stops running from the love that mirrors God's own. For perfect love, when it matures, reflects the nature of the one who created it, patient, forgiving, eternal. And so, beloved, you are being asked to keep your light burning. Even when nights grow long, even when questions echo unanswered, even when hope feels fragile, keep your lamp lit, because your faith is guiding them home. Your prayers are the bridge heaven walks across. Your surrender is the proof that you trust the author of this story. If this message finds your heart weary, place your hand upon your chest and say, God, I release control. I trust your timing. Feel how the peace begins to settle within you like morning light. That is the Spirit moving. That is healing happening, and soon, beloved, you will see how the pieces begin to fall into place, not by your striving, but by divine grace. The angels are rejoicing already, for fear is losing its power, and faith is rising like dawn over your connection. If this message has stirred something within your soul, whisper a quiet thank you to God, because that stirring is the first sign of divine movement. Share this light with another soul who might need it. Let love ripple outward, for every act of kindness is a seed of healing in God's garden. You are loved. You are guided, and your story is not over. It is only becoming more sacred. Prepare your heart, beloved, for in the next part, the angels will reveal how this love, once bound by fear, begins to manifest in the physical realm. As both souls step into divine union, fear transformed into divine union. The fear that once lingered in your soulmate spirit is now softening under the light of divine truth. They are beginning to see themselves as God sees them, whole, worthy, and capable of love without limitation. The trembling in their heart is fading, replaced by a newfound courage that rises slowly like the dawn. You may notice signs of change, a sudden message, an unexpected gesture, or a feeling of closeness even in distance. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations that fear has no dominion where God reigns. The angels say that love, once bound by worry and hesitation, is now free to breathe. For God has prepared both your hearts to receive each other fully, without shadows of doubt, without echoes of past pain. As it is written, above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. 1 Peter 4:8 NIV. This love is not perfect because humans are flawless, but perfect because it is rooted in the divine. It covers fear. It heals hesitation. It illuminates what was once hidden. Your soulmate is learning to meet you not with trembling, but with openness. They are discovering that vulnerability is not weakness, but a sacred doorway into God's own grace. Every hesitation melts as they remember the promises of heaven, and every silent prayer they whispered for you is now returning as peace within their soul. Beloved, your presence has been a beacon of light, quiet, steady, and unwavering. Through every doubt, every pause, every moment of waiting, you have radiated faith. And that faith has become the bridge that guides them back to love without fear. The angels show me this vision, two souls standing across a river of golden light, their hands trembling yet reaching for one another. And as they connect, the water beneath them transforms into a reflection of heaven itself, soft, luminous, eternal. Your love has become their anchor, your patience has become their courage, and your prayers have become the gentle hands that guide them into divine alignment. Even now, God is whispering to both your hearts, "This is the moment I have prepared for you. Step into the fullness of my love." Fear has no place here. The angels remind you that union is not only physical, but spiritual, emotional, and divine. When your soulmate finally looks into your eyes without hesitation, they will see the reflection of God's love shining back at them. And in that reflection, they will realize all their fear was a necessary path, leading them to gratitude, humility, and faith. Beloved, hold this truth close to your heart. The delay, the waiting, the trembling, all were instruments of God's timing. All were preparing you both to embrace love that is unshakable, unhidden, eternal. The angels say, do not rush this moment. Do not try to force what is being divinely orchestrated. Let the miracle unfold naturally, for the greatest joys are those that arrive when the heart is ready. You are on holy ground, beloved. Every prayer you offered in silence, every tear shed in longing, every hope whispered into the unseen, they have been heard. God has been weaving these threads into a tapestry of love that is beyond human comprehension. Soon, your soulmate will step fully into this light. They will speak words they once feared, embrace emotions they once hid, and show a devotion that mirrors the heart of God. And when they do, you will understand their greatest fear was never about losing you, but about discovering just how much they could love, and realizing that this love was meant to be shared wholly with you. Beloved, the angels are asking you to remain in peace. Do not let impatience cloud the joy of this unfolding. Instead, breathe in divine patience, breathe out surrender, and allow your heart to rest in the certainty of God's plan. As Psalm 37:4 says, delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Your delight, your faith, your love, all of it has been part of the process that brings your souls together. You are witnesses to a sacred awakening, a divine reconciliation of hearts once separated by fear. And now, as the angels rejoice, you will see that love is not something to chase, but something to receive in its perfect time. So tonight, beloved, feel the quiet joy in your chest, the soft peace that hums through your soul, and know that divine union is near. Your soulmate's fear has served its purpose, and now God's love is free to flow between you both, pure, radiant, eternal. If this message has touched your heart, share it with someone who needs hope tonight. Let this light ripple outward, for every soul who witnesses this truth will carry peace into their own journey. You are loved beyond measure. You are seen. You are cherished. And in God's perfect timing, you and your soulmate will step together into a love that fear can no longer shadow. A love that speaks of eternity. A love that is divine, sacred, and wholly yours. Walking together in divine alignment, beloved soul. As you continue along this sacred path, feel the gentle rhythm of God's heartbeat surrounding you. Your connection with your soulmate is no longer only about overcoming fear. It is about walking together in harmony with divine timing. letting every step reflect patience, faith, and love. Even now, angels are arranging moments unseen, small synchronizations of thought and energy, so that your spirits resonate like a melody composed by heaven itself. Your soulmate is learning to move toward you, not out of urgency, but out of the calm certainty that love has always been destined to find you. The whispers of doubt are fading, replaced by a quiet joy that grows steadily within them, because they are beginning to trust what God has already written in the story of your hearts. They are learning that to love fully is not to be perfect, but to be willing to walk in vulnerability, courage, and divine honesty, as Jeremiah 29:11 reminds us. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Your love is part of that divine plan, and the angels are guiding every detail toward its fulfillment. There is beauty in the way both of you are being refined, not by struggle alone, but by quiet reflection, prayer, and spiritual growth. Each trial, each period of waiting has been a sacred teacher, reminding your hearts to remain soft, to remain trusting, and to remain anchored in God's light. The angels now invite you to focus on alignment, not perfection. Notice how your actions, thoughts, and prayers resonate with the truth of your calling. Notice how your soulmate's heart is learning to mirror your patience, to reflect your trust, and to open gradually to the joy that divine connection brings. Even when distance or silence appears, do not mistake it for separation. Every pause is a space where heaven is weaving understanding, where God is teaching your souls to meet without expectation, to love without anxiety, and to rejoice in the unfolding of divine timing. Your soulmate is awakening to a realization: fear was only a veil hiding their capacity for trust. And now that the veil is lifting, they are beginning to see the truth. Love does not bind, it liberates. Love does not demand, it nurtures. Love does not shrink in darkness, it shines in God's light. The angels are showing me a vision of your spirits walking side by side, hands not yet touching but hearts aligned, moving in a cadence dictated by divine wisdom. You are both learning that the journey is sacred, that every step prepares you to meet fully without hesitation, and that each moment together is a gift, not a certainty. Beloved, take comfort in this. Your prayers, your patience, your surrender, all of it is being collected by heaven and returned as blessings. Every kind thought, every prayer whispered for your soulmate, every intention sent from your heart is a thread that binds your souls in spiritual alignment. Even now, subtle signs may appear, the song that reminds you of them, a word or phrase that speaks directly to your heart, a sudden feeling of warmth or peace that seems inexplicable. These are confirmations that your spirits are connected beyond the visible realm, that divine timing is guiding each interaction, and that fear no longer dictates the course of your love. You are being invited to remain vigilant in faith, not in anxious anticipation, but in the quiet confidence that God's plan unfolds perfectly. Let your heart continue to radiate love, not only for your soulmate, but for yourself, because the purity of your light strengthens the bond that fear once shadowed. The angels remind you that this stage is about gratitude, gratefulness for growth, for patience, for understanding, and for the sacred preparation that allows two hearts to unite fully and consciously. Because when love arrives in its divine fullness, it is steady, peaceful, and enduring. Your soulmate's greatest fear is no longer an obstacle. It is a reminder of how far both of you have come and how much your hearts are capable of embracing. Fear has transformed into faith, hesitation into courage, and uncertainty into clarity. Tonight, let your spirit rest in this truth. You are walking together in divine alignment, guided by the angels, anchored in God's love, and destined to meet fully in joy, trust, and sacred union. If this message resonates with your soul, share it with someone whose heart needs this reassurance tonight. Every act of sharing divine light multiplies love, and every word of hope you spread becomes part of God's healing work. Remember, beloved, your journey is ongoing. Your love is sacred. Your connection is blessed. And the angels are always present, moving quietly to bring your hearts ever closer, in perfect harmony, in perfect timing, and in the fullness of God's eternal grace, divine manifestation, and the joy of union. The journey you have walked through fear, awakening, patience, and alignment is now approaching a sacred threshold. Your love story, divinely guided, is ready to manifest. The angels are surrounding your path with golden light, illuminating every step that leads to reunion, and whispering, your souls are ready to meet fully, without hesitation, without shadow, only in faith. Your soulmate has reached a place where fear no longer defines their heart. They have seen the truth of your presence, and they have embraced it with reverence, humility, and courage. The trembling that once held them back has transformed into a steady pulse of longing, a desire to honor what God has already planned. As Psalm 16:11 declares, "You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore." This is your reality now, beloved. The fullness of joy is within reach, and the angels are gently guiding your souls toward it. Even the smallest signs are confirmations of divine orchestration, a message received at the perfect moment, an encounter that feels almost fated, or a sudden awareness that your hearts are moving in harmony. These are not coincidences. These are sacred confirmations that God is fulfilling His plan. Your role remains simple yet powerful: to stay in love, faith, and gratitude, to trust the timing of divine movement, and to rejoice in every step your soulmate takes toward you. Because love that is divinely ordained does not need force. It does not need manipulation. It only needs presence, patience, and surrender. The angels are revealing now that union is more than physical. It is spiritual, emotional, and sacred. When your souls finally connect fully, there will be no walls, no hesitation, no shadow of doubt. You will recognize each other instantly, for your spirits have been intertwined long before your eyes first met. Beloved, feel the energy of heaven moving through you both, a quiet assurance, a soft warmth, a knowing that all is as it should be. Your soulmate will step into your life fully, not as a stranger, but as a soul who has been walking the path of preparation, carrying lessons, healing, and a heart ready to love without restraint. As 1 Corinthians 13:4-7 reminds us, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. This is the love that is manifesting for you now. The angels are asking you to live in this truth, to feel it in your chest, and to know that it is real, even as your soulmate steps closer. You may notice moments of reflection, where both of you pause to honor the journey. These pauses are sacred. They are the space where gratitude deepens, where trust solidifies, and where divine connection blooms without pressure. Beloved, your prayers, your patience, and your unwavering light have been instruments in this sacred manifestation. Every time you surrendered control, every time you chose love over fear, every time you prayed in silence, you were weaving the threads that now bring your souls together in harmony. The angels are urging you to celebrate each sign of union, not only the final meeting, but every tender smile, every moment of shared understanding, every heartbeat that echoes God's presence in your love. This is the joy that fills heaven and earth alike. Your soulmate's greatest fear has been revealed, confronted, and transformed. What was once a trembling hesitation is now courage and devotion. What was once shadowed uncertainty is now illuminated by faith. And together, you step into a love that is safe, sacred, and eternal. Take a moment, beloved, and whisper a prayer of gratitude. Lord, thank you for your timing. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for the love that has been prepared for me. Feel how peace floods your spirit, how your heart aligns with the divine rhythm of heaven. The angels are smiling upon this sacred connection, and as you move forward together, you will see the beauty of divine love fully realized, hearts intertwined, spirits aligned, and souls resting in God's perfect plan. If this word has touched your spirit, share it with someone whose heart longs for hope and reassurance. Each act of sharing spreads divine light. Each whispered prayer joins the chorus of heaven. Beloved, you are loved beyond measure. You are seen. You are cherished. And your journey, though long and patient, culminates in a love that fear could never shadow, a love that reflects God's heart, and a connection that is eternal, sacred, and divinely fulfilled. The journey you have walked together is only beginning, and the angels are whispering that sustaining divine love requires patience, awareness, and continual surrender. Even after fear has transformed into faith and union has begun to manifest, your souls are called to remain aligned with heaven's rhythm. Because love that is eternal is also a living, breathing journey of growth. Your soulmate is learning. Day by day, that love is not only found in grand moments, but in quiet acts of kindness, in listening with patience, in forgiving without hesitation, and in trusting God to guide every choice and step. As Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 reminds us, two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. If either of them falls, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Together, you become a sacred support, lifting each other in prayer, in encouragement, and in faith. The angels are now showing me a vision of two hands intertwined, not as a fleeting gesture, but as a symbol of hearts committed to walking with God in every season. Your love is no longer about fear or uncertainty. It is about nurturing a partnership that reflects divine wisdom, patience, and grace. Beloved, understand this. Challenges may still arise. Small storms may test your trust, and old shadows may attempt to whisper doubts. Yet with every test, God invites you both to return to His light, to pray together, to speak truth, and to let His love guide your decisions. Your soulmate's heart is now courageous. But courage is not absence of fear. It is choosing love, even when the past echoes within. They will continue to grow, just as you are continuing to grow. And the angels are encouraging you to honor this sacred unfolding. As Colossians 3:14 reminds us, and over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. Love, beloved, is the thread that will carry you through every trial, every misunderstanding, and every moment of uncertainty. The angels ask you to celebrate not only the destination, but the journey itself. Notice the laughter shared, the silent prayers answered, the moments of alignment that feel too perfect to be coincidence. These are gifts of heaven, reminders that your souls are walking together as intended. Beloved, sustain your love through faith and gratitude. Speak words that uplift, offer actions that reflect patience, and let prayer remain the foundation of your connection. Every act of divine love strengthens the bond that fear once threatened, and it anchors your hearts firmly in God's plan, even now. Subtle confirmations may appear, dreams that feel real, numbers that echo messages from heaven, or moments of intuition that guide your choices. These are not accidental. They are whispers from the angels, reminding you that divine guidance is always present. Your soulmate's journey toward courage is complete, but your shared journey toward holiness, peace, and eternal love continues. Together, you are invited to walk in God's light, to celebrate the joy of His plan, and to share the gift of your union with the world. If this message resonates with your spirit, share it with someone who longs for hope and guidance. Your act of sharing spreads divine light, and every soul touched by this message becomes part of God's work in the world. Beloved, remember this always. You are loved. You are seen, and your connection is sacred. Fear may have once whispered lies, but now faith, courage, and divine love reign supreme. Walk together in trust, walk together in patience, and walk together in God's eternal guidance. For your love is not only a blessing, it is a living reflection of His heart.